Hey there, this is a tribute video to Dragonite. Now, why do I love Dragonite so much? Well, for starters, probably because he's probably one of the most classic dragons there are in the Pokemon franchise. I mean, of course, you have Dratini and Dragonair, which don't really look anything like him at all. And then you have Dragonite, who's just, I don't know. There's something about him that just has a cool presence to him that I just love. And during my presentation of showing all the wonderful things about Dragonite that have an opinion before, why don't you show your opinion to all those Dragonite fans out there? Might as well. Because this video is going to be all about how much we love our big yellow buddy of ours. Yep. Well, I will be very honest. When Dragonite first came out, I wasn't a super fan of him because before I was in the whole dragon thing, I loved birds, so my main thing were the legendary bird. However, around about the second generation going into 3, I looked back at Dragonite and thought, you know what, there is something cool about him. And I was right. I was so glad I went back and looked at Dragonite another time. Because then I realized of all the cool things about him, too. Now, of course, if you want to be technical about the Pokemon, like games and stuff, there are dragons that are stronger than him. So I'm not saying he's the best, he's the strongest, but he's the best for me. Now, of course, like, if you compare him in like a real-life battle, Dragonite would probably be one of the fastest and most agile dragons there are, despite his 400 plus pounds and his stubby wings. Never understood that. You can fly faster than the speed of sound with little tiny wings, and he weighs 3 times as much as I do. I love that about him. And even if I rode on his back, he'd still be able to fly that fast. Even though I don't think I want to go that fast, but whatever. But that's one thing I don't like about the Pokemon games, is they gave him a speed handicap. Now, my Dragonite speed is only like 150 something, when the Latias, for example, is almost 300. And a lot of other dragons, like Salamence, Rayquaza, and a lot of others like that, are faster than him, and that just gives him not the right feel. I just deal with it anyway, just because I like using Dragonite in anything, and I like his moveset, because he has a very ideal balance of special attack and attack, in my opinion. And you can really mix up the combos. Like, for example, I got owned by my sister's Dragonite who used Earthquake, and I didn't know it knew it, so she trashed me with that. Yes, a Dragonite can know a lot of different elemental moves, and that's just cool. Depending on what game you got him from, you can know all 3 elemental punches, and even Focus Punch, too, if you really just want to know them. But yeah, I do not want to be hit by those 3 claws of his. No, I don't. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other things too. Like I just showed Pokepark he was in that, and he's in a little. The one thing that too that kind of bothered me is that he only made 1 appearance in the Pokemon Ranger franchise. I was not, and he was the Dragonite bus, which was cool because Dragonite could transport you to all the different locations, but he didn't make an appearance in the later games, which I don't know why, because his 2 previous evolutions did, but he didn't. It's not fair. But, well, that's what the people do. Now, one thing I can say is, well, I'm not getting X and Y. I try to accept it, but I just can't. And the one thing I have to say is, thank goodness that the 3 of my favorite dragons are not touched in that series in terms of being changed. We have Mega Charizard, we have Mega Garchomp, and Mega Blaziken and all that, but thank God we do not have a Mega Dragonite. Because, honestly, I mean, I think Dragonite's cool enough the way he is. He doesn't need a Mega Formation. I mean, would he gain another type? And if so, what would it be? Dare I say it, the one thing that he could be is Fairy type. Yeah, you can. I'm gonna punch myself in the head for that later. But if you go back to the really old facts in a Pokemon book I have sitting around here, his origin as those dragons that exist in fairy tales, fairy kind of dragons. So technically, if you really want to go back that far, he could be a fairy type / dragon type. Which, in a way, that would screw over a lot of other dragons, because you can't hit him with any other dragon move. So, in a way, that would be good, but if he ever turned into a fairy type, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'd be a fan of him. Well, okay, you know what, yeah, I'd still be a fan, but it's kind of harder, you know? You can't take something like Big Yellow Buddy here and change him into something like that, because, I don't know. He's perfect the way he is. He's got plenty of balanced moves. He's got a nice, good charm. Well, depending on what you got. Now, I know... Well, actually, that's another thing I need to point out, too. Ordinarily, a Dragonite's behavior is kind of generally nice, friendly, kind of peppy. Sometimes goofy, if you have one like mine. But on the battlefield, they're very strong, tough fighters and will not give up until the very end. They're very, very tough. They're very, very strong, and they have that very seriously kind of angry look on their face when they're in battle. But off the battlefield, they're very friendly, and they would love to help others, such as like they love to help drowning people and stuff like that. Unless you have one like Iris's, which has that serious look all the time, kind of like Red on High Dragon's channel. See where he got most of his pictures from. I know where I got the one from my channel from. But yeah, I mean, that Iris's Dragonite kind of shocked me for a moment. You have like we go from having Dragonites that are all generally happy and peppy to one that acts like a complete badass 24/7, except for the one where he helps out the Ampharos, where he shows a kind of a soft side, but not once do you see him smile. Once in a great while you see him smile, but he still has that slanted eye look, which still means that he's kind of like pissed off. I never got that. The only thing I hope is I don't want that to be a stereotype furthermore for Dragonite. They should resume giving most Dragonite that happy peppy look, which as you can see, you can see by the top left, you can see by the top of my screen there that really happy Dragonite who had that big goofy face on. I mean, that's generally what Dragonite are. I mean, they're very happy and they love to give opinions. They love to help others. That's the thing. That is the thing. Now, there's a couple of things. Besides my plush toy that I keep showing you guys, there's a couple of other Dragonite items that I have that are very cool. Like this, for example, I actually got this as a gift once back then, and I've had it ever since, and I've actually found this, and now it's in my room, is a bouncy ball with Dragonite in it. Now, this ball here was actually, this set was released like the first generation. That's how old it is. Unfortunately, it's lost its value because it's out of the box, but come on, I opened it when I was like 7 or something. I can't even remember my age back then. Another thing, too, before I go on further, is this here in this book, which is very outdated because it's Diamond and Pearl, by the way, will show you like what a Dragonite should be. See right? Happy and loves to greet others, but yet strong at the same time on the battlefield. That is pretty much the exact cross of what a Dragonite should be. Not too happy and goofy like mine, and not too badass like Iris's. More like in the middle. That's what I think a true Dragonite is. However, there is one thing that every Dragonite has, including Iris's. It's loyalty to its best friends. That is one thing that all Dragonites usually have, is if they have a best friend, they will stand by them thick and thin. Another thing, too, is I forget where these came from. I'm going to carefully untape it off my little dresser here, so I do not want to rip it. Does anybody remember these little these square tags way back then? I've actually found this at my grandmother's house one time. I'm very shocked. It was in a box kept up with a bunch of other ones, and I'm like, I probably kept it up there like way before I was a Dragonite fan. And then I discovered it probably a good year ago, and I'm like, wow, I would have had this in my collection sooner. It's something very minor, but the fact that this is like these little tags or something were a big thing back then. Just like keeping it. I thought it was a sticker. Was it maybe? I don't even remember. But yeah, Another thing too is I also have, besides the countless cards on my wall, as you can see, I got a little Dragonite figurine here, which once again is out of the box. I know, but it's on a stand. It's on a gem stand. It was already out of the box, but yeah, this is a cute little guy right here. Yeah, I just love collecting Dragonite stuff of all kinds, mainly because of the stuff back there. But another thing too, there's one more thing I gotta talk about before I call it quits, because it's really I've really described everything that there is to Dragonite. Another thing too is that his appearance, besides the anime hasn't changed. His appearance in games and even cards has changed a lot. You can tell that Dragonite has evolved. Now I don't mean Dratini to Dragonite. I mean his actual, like, what Dragonite looks like that has evolved. Can you believe that in the beginning, when the first card of him was out, he was orange with a brown belly and no horn? Yeah, he didn't have a horn when he was first released. Now a lot of people have told me that isn't true, but if you go back to that first card over there, which I will take out to prove to you guys. This may take a while. If you go back and take a look at Not So Big Yellow Buddy, you can clearly see that, almost clearly see. There we go. You can see that. You can see that he's orange, has a brown underbelly, and does not have a horn. Which is very interesting. They didn't give him a horn until, I believe, later on in the series. I think was anime appearance he did have a horn in. So it was like halfway through the first generation. I'm thinking my quiz I said the second generation he got a horn. That is not correct, I remember. It was about halfway, it was about when yellow version came out, I think he's when he got a horn. Because I remember in the previous version, he was not, in the games, he was brown. And believe it or not, he's still classified as brown in the Pokedex. Which, I don't know, orange, yellow, brown. Well, that's only because he was brown in the first couple of games, especially green version in Japan. Which also, I will show sprites of this in a moment on Bulbapedia. Yeah, he actually had a white stripe going from the top of his head down his back too. Which I'm sorry, Dragonite, but back then you looked ugly. If I had to guess why I wasn't a Dragonite fan back then, he kind of was a little ugly. That's why I stuck with the birds. But then I realized, when he kind of changed his appearance a little bit, and now he's a yellow dragon. He's that yellow dragon he is. That's when I started to like him a little bit more. I'm sorry, Dragonite. A true Dragonite fan would have been fans since the very beginning, but sorry. But I am a huge fan of him now, and I will be until the end of time, regardless what they do to change him in the future franchise. Which I'm hoping they do not change him at all. They better not. It'd be an insult to Dragonite fans everywhere. I might as well show you guys the rest of my cards, even though I've probably already done this, but there's alright. These are the kind of cards that I have of him. Yeah, I think you can see that. I'm just gonna move it all. I'll move my computer ever so slowly to show you all the Dragonite cards that I currently have in my collection, including a new one that I've got in Card Quest Episode 3. That Dragonite one right there. And I have not showed the Latias cards, EXs. I might as well show those. Yep. And there's another one right there of Dragonite, which, yeah, I mean, that's what Dragonite pretty much looks like today. It's just like that. He's yellow, and he has, well, you can't see his horn because of the way his head's tilted, but he definitely has one. Like, even that, this is back when the Game Boy was one of the first Game Boy cards, and once again, he does not, I don't know if you can see that, he does not have a horn on that one, and I keep bumping my computer. But yeah, it's pretty interesting how much he's changed, I will say. Another thing, one last thing too is I might as well show it. I actually, yeah, on my card. Yep, this is probably one of my favorite items just because I can show everyone that I'm a Dragonite fan by showing them my car keys. Look it, I got a Dragonite charm. Haha. Which is funny too because this is actually, believe it or not, even if it's just a charm, it's a very rare item because it's only in sale in Japan. Even the box that I got it off of eBay said not for sale in the USA. However, it didn't say you can't display it in the USA. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not selling it, I'm just showing it off. Alright, well that'll be it for showing off all my most of my Dragonite items. Now I will also go to Bulbapedia too to look up a couple more facts, which I probably already know. And to show you all the sprites that Dragonite used to look and how much he has, well, evolved in his appearance. Alright, as you can tell, this is the Dragonite page, and I like some of the facts it has too. It's like for example here, despite his bulky build, Dragonite is capable of flying faster than the speed of sound, which once again I still can't believe that. Yeah, he circled the globe in 16 hours, man. It's crazy. And he has human-like intelligence. Which, trust me, he can outsmart me if he can, if he tried. It shows sign of altruism, which said to save humans from drowning. That's really cool. Yep, Dragonite are really cool, but once in a while they could get angry. But most of the time they're good. Now these are the old sprites. Now as you can tell, these are the really old sprites of Dragonite. You can't really tell in yellow. I think that's supposed to be its horn there, but yeah, in red and blue it did not have a horn. That back thing is his wing. And that's what he looked like when he first came out. But I mean, look, it's like all brown. And then when you see when Generation 2 came out, he finally started to get a little bit more yellow and was more on brown. Then by the time Gen 3 came out, and then like Fire Red V3 and all that, yep. And then he was clearly yellow. And then from that point on, they look like they've been trying to get back into orange, but mainly he's yellow. Especially in the anime, he's golden yellow. But yeah, I mean, look at the difference if you compare the old to the new. I mean, he has definitely changed, that's for sure. But all the same, he's still the awesome big yellow buddy. Yeah, even as a big-headed caricature type of plush, you look a lot better than you used to. Well, that's why I love Dragonite. Not only is he a strong type of dragon, but he's also very happy, friendly, and... well, come on. He's a classic. You gotta love the classics, right? Well, most of the classics that they haven't touched yet. Well, that's my opinion on Dragonite for you. Now I know it's not. Now I know that my opinion isn't the sole opinion of everybody else, but hey, that's why I love him. So, if you have any other reasons why you like Dragonite, and no hating please, if you don't like Dragonite, then just don't even comment at all, because it will be deleted, okay? If you do like Dragonite, well then, post any reason you want saying why you like him. This is Mr. Jum signing off another Dragonite related video. And you guys keep enjoying Dragonite Week. See you next time.